Journey into Mystery. 88. Heed my words, Thor. Though both of you are my sons, you must defeat the evil Loki for the sake of mankind.
Nothing can save you, Thunder God, for now I know the secret of your hammer.
I shall not fail, noble Odin. No matter what the cost, Loki shall not menace Earth. See Thor, the mightiest hero of all, as he dares face the terrible vengeance of Loki. The Mighty Thor, starring in The Vengeance of Loki. Once again, Loki, most dangerous of the Norse gods, returns to give the mighty Thor his greatest challenge. In their last earthly encounter, Thor defeated the sinister Loki and dispatched him to Asgard, the heavenly citadel of the Norse gods. It is the god of mischief, once again vanquished by the mighty Thor. Now, the enchanted hammer returns to Earth and to its master, the Lord of Thunder. And then spoke Odin, ruler of Asgard. Never again are you to leave our home. You will remain here forever.
Yes, Father.
But Loki cannot forget his bitter taste of defeat. Each day, his anger toward Thor mounts until finally,
I thirst for revenge, and I shall not rest until it is mine.
The god of mischief then takes some strange leaves and covers them with the sap from a sacred tree. According to the ancient ritual, I subject the leaves to fire. And as the smoke rises, I concentrate on my foe. Thor. He appears. I see that at this moment he is bound helplessly in a dungeon. Editor's note. Loki has tuned in on Thor during his adventure last month. Thor, prisoner of the Reds. But wait, now he is changing. The Thunder God is becoming an ordinary mortal. In his human guise, the chains now fit him loosely. He is slipping out of them. Again, he touches his hammer and changes back to his accursed true self. So that is his secret. He's the all-powerful god of thunder only while he holds the hammer. Once the mallet is out of his hands, he becomes an ordinary mortal. He is completely dependent on the hammer. That is his weakness, his Achilles heel, through which I shall defeat him at last. In the days that follow, Loki makes further studies of the Thunder God and his human counterpart, Dr. Don Blake. And then, finally, Thor's archenemy takes action. To reach Earth, I must cross Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge. But Heimdall, the guardian of the bridge, knows that Odin has ordered me to remain here. He will never allow me to pass. So, I must use my magic power to assume another form. A form that can slither onto the bridge without being noticed. Once past Heimdall, Loki reverts back to his true form. Then, at almost the speed of thought, once again do I make the forbidden journey to Earth, and this time I shall not return until I have bested Thor. Minutes later, an old man enters the reception room of Dr. Don Blake. You come to me. I command you. When the old man speaks to Nurse Jane Foster, she finds herself transfixed by his strange, unhuman eyes, which overwhelm her will, which make her obey. Obey. I must see Dr. Blake at once. At once. Go right in. But before entering the office, the stranger whispers a command to his dazed subject. Hear my instructions. Remember them. And when the time comes, obey. Moments later. You are Dr. Blake? Well, you're not one of my patients. How did you get past Miss Foster? Oh, getting past a mere mortal is no problem for the God of Mischief. Loki. With reflex action swiftness, the lame physician seizes his cane, stamping it swiftly on the floor. You dare come here? Transformed into the most powerful figure ever to walk the earth, the Thunder God now confronts his foe. How did you discover my secret identity? That is my secret, hated one. And now I have come to do battle with you. And if you refuse my challenge, I'll cause such havoc throughout this puny world that you will have to fight me. You leave me no choice. The God of Thunder has defeated you once, and he will do it again. No, Thor, this time Loki shall be the victor. Meet me at Central Park in 1 hour. There shall we test our mettle. So be it. With the disappearance of Loki, Thor again becomes Dr. Don Blake. And then, I'll be gone the rest of the afternoon, Jane. Yes, Doctor. After he leaves, I must leave too, as I have been commanded. Minutes later, a godlike figure hurls his hammer into the sky. Flying after it, as he grips the leather thong with fingers of steel. Look! It's the mighty Thor! Well, the way he's speeding across the sky, you can bet he's on the trail of someone. I'm sure glad it's not me.
He comes. Now, vengeance shall be mine.
Prepare to battle, Thor, and prepare to be vanquished by Loki. You deceive yourself, Loki. Though I cannot match you, power for power, I have one weapon which you cannot match. The invincible hammer of Thor! Suddenly, with godlike deftness, Loki sidesteps the oncoming mallet, and at that instant, a slender female enters the scene.
The nurse has followed my instructions. Now, for the rest of my plan.
Using his magic powers, the god of mischief transforms a nearby tree into a snarling tiger. Then, before the enchanted hammer can return to Thor, behold, your nurse is in dire danger. Save her or seize your hammer. There is time to do only one. Which shall it be, Thunder God? Jane! Without an instant's hesitation, the mighty immortal leaps to the girl's defense.
Ha! I knew that would be your choice, fool!
And while Thor battles the ferocious beast, his hammer lies on the ground as precious seconds tick grimly away. I've slain the tiger, but the hammer, it's been out of my hand for almost 60 seconds. Unless I touch it again before the minute is up, I'll lose the power of Thor. Too late. The minute has passed. I'm turning back to my normal self. Then, before the human Don Blake can reach the hammer, Loki creates a magical force field around it. I can't remove this thing. Can't get to the hammer.
I've won. I've beaten Thor. At last. No one, nothing can pierce my force field. The hammer is forever beyond your reach. You shall never again possess the power of Thor. Thus have I defeated you. And now, to celebrate my conquest, I shall have sport with your helpless planet. Farewell.
No, come back. Helpless to stop his evil foe, Dr. Don Blake turns to his unconscious nurse. She only fainted. Lucky it happened before I lost the power of Thor. Otherwise, she too would have discovered my dual identity.
Oh, Dr. Blake, what happened? Where is Thor?
Thor is gone. Easy now, Jane. I'll take you home. Meanwhile, the triumphant Loki begins his rampage.
So many mortals in the city. It will be amusing to watch their reactions when I transform them into blank beings.
And at a gesture from the sinister Loki, Charlie, where are you? Hey, what's happened to us? We're turning into nothings. It's madness. Impossible. Help! Someone help us!
Listen to the fool's panic. I'll wait another few minutes before I return them to normal. Again, assuming the form of a bird, Loki flies to another city. This time, I'll tamper with non-living objects. The unbelievable comes to pass. The building? All the brick and cement? It's turning into candy. No, I don't believe it. There's no such thing as a car made of ice cream. Hey, the sun is melting my convertible. Hey, stop licking my bicycle. Shoo! Priceless. I haven't had this much fun in centuries. And so, the god of mischief amuses himself while the greatest power in the universe, the one power that can stop him, lies imprisoned within a magic force field. Loki travels on and on, spanning the continent, winging north toward the Arctic until something has fallen from that aircraft. It is a bomb. This will be our greatest atomic test. It will be the most powerful explosion in history. The Americans will tremble when they hear of it. Da! But as the bomb hurtles down, Loki exercises his magic power upon it. It was a dud. We failed. How can we face Nikita now? As Loki continues his rampage, fear and confusion mount. But he's just an ancient myth. Loki doesn't really exist. He may not be for real, but the things he's doing certainly are. How do you defeat a super being? The only way is with another super being, Thor. And elsewhere, at that moment. Where is Thor? Why doesn't he stop Loki, as he did once before? Perhaps he will, somehow. Loki is only toying with mankind now, playing foolish, senseless pranks. But soon, his pranks may grow more serious, more deadly. He must be driven from Earth, and yet, without the power of my enchanted hammer, I am completely helpless. Meanwhile, earthly weapons are brought into play against the Master of Mischief. Prepare to fire! Fools, you cannot match those toys against the magic of Loki. Fire! And my rifle, it sprouted wings. The bazooka's flying away. And at that very moment, Don Blake gets the idea. That's the answer. It'll work. I'm certain of it. The next day, the dynamic doctor puts his desperate plan into effect. Extra! Thor vows to defeat Loki before end of week. Extra! Thor? But that's impossible. Without the hammer, that puny doctor can never again become the Thunder God. And the hammer is surrounded by my impenetrable force field. Nothing can get through it. Yet, what if I am wrong? What if he discovered a way? I must find out at once. And so, once again, Loki flies to the site of his battle with Thor. The force field is still there, and no, it isn't possible. Welcome, Loki. I've been expecting you. Thor, you have regained your hammer, but it is impossible. You couldn't. I must remove the force field and see. But the instant Loki removes the magic barrier, a slender figure reaches out and...
You're not Thor. It is only a plastic dummy.
Right. I was hiding behind it, waiting for you to remove the force field.
Stop! Don't touch that hammer.
You're too late, Loki. At last, the power of Thor surges throughout my body. Once again, I have become the God of Thunder.
You haven't won yet. I shall escape and devise another plan.
What? He has transformed himself into a pigeon. But which one is he? I must not let him escape me again. Suddenly, with superhuman speed, Thor races across the park. There's one way to find out. If there's anything pigeons like, it's peanuts. They're all gathered around the peanuts, except that one, who has more important things on his mind.
Blast it! Thor tricked me into revealing myself.
He's flying off, but he won't get far. Sorry, gentlemen, but right now, I need this net more than you do.
Thor is a fool if he thinks he can catch me. I'll let him get close, just to frustrate him. Then I'll change into a rocket and vanish.
But before Loki can act, a perfect catch.
That net, how?
A moment later, the Thunder God returns to Earth with his captive foe. Bitter in defeat, Loki reverts to his natural form.
They laugh at me now, when just hours ago, the mere mention of my name sent a wave of fear around the world. Where are you taking me now? Oh, no, not there. You can't take me there.
I must. You are too dangerous to remain among the helpless mortals of Earth. Later, at the portals of Asgard, citadel of the immortal Norse gods. I am most pleased to see my favorite son again, but as for Loki, I know not what to do with him. He grows more wily, more dangerous, more uncontrollable each hour. We must pray that the world will never see the day when his power exceeds that of the mighty Thor.